This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild podcast. I am Tim Chelsvik.
I'm Matt Drury, and we got Mark and Terry in with us today, and we're excited and nervous a little bit to kind of talk about what we're about to go through here. So
I think so. You know, we're a company that prides ourselves in, longevity in terms of the messaging, how we present ourselves to everyone that's watching. We try to, be as loyal as we possibly can to every single consumer out there, not necessarily our partners, but to our consumers in terms of the messaging that we bring them, in terms of information and white-tailed deer, DeerCast, all the things we've done. And but as part of our business with television as it is and social media and the growth that we've had, sometimes there's change within the messaging. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
We never really like to go down that route either. I mean, we like to be consistent. We pride ourselves on it. But sometimes in business and life, things change. You don't always have total control over the changes either. And you got to be able to reflect and react and continue to forge ahead. So, to unveil it here, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Well, pop it up there. Let's see what you got, mister.
So we're making a huge change from PSE to Matthews starting here this fall, 2020.
Can we get an applause sound effect?
Yes, I have that.
Well-oiled machine.
Boy, he was right on rolling.
So what I wanted to do, and I texted these guys and I told you early on, I wanted for us all to jump on the podcast and to kind of be able to walk through with the consumer, the audience, our viewers, why, the why, the how, and kind of the process behind it. So there's no kind of misnomers out there of why it happened.
Well, the automatic response you see in social media is, they did it for the money.
Always the first thing.
Always. And, in this situation, I talked about that messaging that we're so proud about. If we tell you that we wear mossy oak for a reason, we mean it. If we tell you we're shooting a PSE for a reason, we mean it. And we that's our bond. Our words are bond. We're a handshake type of guys, and we still mean that. I'd tell somebody that today. If they were questioning about a PSE, I'll tell them everything I believe in them. And I do believe in those bows. But our company has grown over the last 13 years that we've been with PSE. It's been a phenomenal stretch in our company's history. And the industry has grown from, what were we back then? A show or two. And now we're 4 shows and a social media platform and footprint. Yeah. And I think over the last 18 months, there's been this uncomfortable chemistry between us and PSE in terms of their view for marketing and what we still provided. Yeah. And there's been a lot of sleepless nights because suddenly we woke up, thinking that we were putting our best foot forward and under promising, over delivering, which is a goal we have with every company. And it wasn't being received that way, if you will. And I'm not trying to knock them. It's just difference in marketing opinion.
So I think it was just a general change of strategy on their part and a change of direction that they wanted to go.
It was.
We talked briefly about this, before we went on camera, but there was a lot of long discussions and deliberation before we made the decision as far as what to do. And at some point, and anybody that's followed us for any length of time knows that we have not made many changes throughout our company's history, and Mossy Oak's a good example. We've been with them for 31 years and will remain loyal to Mossy Oak the rest of our lives, or as long as they're around. PSE was not too indifferent in that. I think it was a 13-year stretch.
They just had a change of direction. And I understand that and I appreciate it and I wish them the best.
To make a long story short, basically, they emailed us and informed us that they let us go. They weren't continuing on past our current contract for this year with Bow Madness.
Love Pete to death. He's like a father figure to us. I mean, he's been a phenomenal partner and we get it. They're making some changes. So.
And he's a treasure in our industry, he is, much like a Fred Bear or Matt McPherson or whatever. These guys, there's only a few of them. They're innovators. And, that should be applauded. I mean, we love Pete.
It was an honor last summer to induct Pete into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. You know, I mean, we were up there doing a speech about him, and we've had 2 years in a row where we've given him awards and then inducted him, and it's one of our highest honors.
With all of that being said, we were pretty doggone excited, and I don't think there was any question as far as what direction we really wanted to go down or what path what manufacturer and how we perceived Mathews and what they've done in the industry and the shooters that they have and the engineering behind it and the technology behind it and the quality that goes into it. That's when we said, you know what, there's really only one path and one manufacturer that we want to be partnered up with, and it was pretty obvious, I believe.
Well, it was interesting because we came out of the ATA show and things got very clear after that to us in terms of direction. And, it still took us a month or two to go, what's going on? And I was having a conversation one day with Lee Lukoski, just shooting the breeze about deer and everything else. And he goes, hey, how's everything with you guys over at PSE? And I said, well, it's funny you should ask, there's, things might be changing there. And he goes, well, if you ever decide to make a change, the guys up at Mathews would really like to visit with you guys. And I told Matt that, told Terry that. We started talking a little bit, and we knew a change was coming. And we picked up the phone. Yeah. And Lee had sent me Brad's cell number and said, we'd like to have an initial talk, have an initial visit. And boy, there was chemistry from the get-go. I mean, whitetail hunters,
Midwestern
Wisconsin. DeerCast users.
Yeah.
It was really cool to get on the phone and talk to those guys and then start to dive deeper into the brand and the bows. Of course, we see the periphery stuff with, Lee and Tiffany and Levi and Pat Nicole and the Lindsays, everybody that are shooting their bows. And you see really high class groups using this equipment. Then we start diving in, asking questions. And it was a pretty natural and a beautiful fit, I think.
Yeah. And the courtship, if you will, it lasted several months, especially the pandemic hit. And, that kind of, it allowed all of us to take our time in making the decision and kind of talking through it and how we were going to go about and
shooting them and feeling them and making sure that, they fit us like we felt like they did.
Yeah.
And wow, are they shooters? Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, their strategy and marketing strategy fits what our abilities and what we are best at in a really good way. And so I think it's going to be a great partnership for all involved. And it's a long-term partnership and one that we're really excited about going forward. And just in general, the team's excitement behind it. I mean, when we finally unveiled it to the team, I mean, it was amazing, the level of excitement that a lot of guys, I know Tim's kind of got a similar story that used to shoot them back in the day. I had never, ever shot anything but a PSE other than, I think it was like a high country or something like that back when I was 16. Other than that, I never shot another bow. The Bow Madness was the first bow I had ever shot coming back into archery.
Sure.
So for me, I had no knowledge of what they felt like, but a lot of the guys on the team did, and just kind of leaning on them and finding out more about the product. It's been interesting to hear the insight.
Well, the popularity kind of speaks for itself. I mean, you go from archery shop to archery shop or from town to town, and anybody in the Midwest or even the upper Northeast and deep South, there's a lot of guys shooting Mathews archery tackle. And I'm sure a lot of them are wondering what took us so long. Why have you guys not shot this before? So we're pretty excited to be there and anxious to get a few big deer on the ground with them. I know the first gut reaction was, wow, this thing is extremely smooth, man. When you release that arrow, there's zero vibration in your hand. It's like shooting butter. I really was impressed. That was fun to get it in your hand. And I was anxious to get it in my hand, get it set up and say, let's give this thing a try.
It's just a different feeling. I don't really know how to explain it other than it just sat there. When I shot, it just stayed there,
To me, they have the feel of Taylor's early youth bows, 25, 30 pounds. That's the feel, but they have the performance of all the top bows on the market right now. The combination of not noticing it goes off with incredible, velocity and accuracy. That's a deadly combination for a whitetail hunter. It's one that I'm excited to take out into a tree with me or a blind.
I think that says a lot about their engineering. There's some things going on there that we don't really understand. So somebody has spent, an inordinate amount of time and effort developing that. And you can see that in the design.
It's going to be an exciting fall. and one that I know the whole team is excited about, to get out there and go to work. And that's what we want to do. We've got our marching orders. We've got our equipment. We're ready to go to work and do what we always do and try to deliver a wonderful fall for our consumers with a new bow in hand.
So speaking of engineering, Terry, I know you are dialed in with a Mission crossbow, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we were pretty excited about it. And the older I get, and I'm not using any excuses, but it's just pretty doggone nice to have the option.
Sure.
You know, to be able to, if you do have some aches, pains, or something torn in the back of your shoulder, you know, or back or ribs or whatever it may be,
It's like an old bull rider.
Going to go through a list.
It's nice to have an option. And Forrest has taken that Mission crossbow and got it dialed in already. And he was really, really excited about it. And it's a lot to get Forrest excited. That's a big deal. But he said the trigger is ridiculous on it. The engineering on it is second to none. And I'm anxious to give it a whirl as well.
Some early season does are going to be in trouble this year.
Yeah.
Look out.
Sweet.
Well,
all right.
So, you know, we wanted to come and share this with everybody as directly as we could. We hope you guys share this podcast. Let everybody know that might be interested. If anybody cares, who knows? Maybe nobody does, but we sure do. And we're excited about it. And we wanted it to come kind of straight from the horse's mouth. And we're looking forward to the fall.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are excited about the future and thankful for our past. We appreciate everything, all the partnership, and many, many years of good times and good memories with PSEs in our hand.
Absolutely.
You couldn't have said that any better, brother.
All right. So if anybody has any questions or comments, let us hear them in the comments below. If you're finding this, seeing it over on social media or in DeerCast or wherever, let us know what you think of the change. And we're excited. Hope you guys will be too. And I have a feeling the team's going to kill a lot of deer this fall.
I think that's right.
So, all
right. I'm all for that.
Let's get with it.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right. Till next time. Peace out.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Leupold.